is grieving right now, and we know that our Native community is feeling that trauma quite acutely. We are making sure that every available resource is utilized to catch the perpetrators of these horrible crimes. We will be making sure that the people that are responsible for these horrible killings are brought to justice. We're going to be working directly with community members to make sure that we have the right information and that we are doing everything possible to make sure that the people responsible are held responsible. To the families and the friends of the deceased, I cannot tell you how sorry we are. This has been tragic, and I know how much pain they are presently in, and I can't imagine what they're feeling right now. I have directed our chief of police to utilize every single available resource to make sure, again, that the perpetrators of these crimes are held responsible. While we don't have a ton of information yet, we do have several leads that we are presently acting on. We're hearing from community members that what happened last night, we could be seeing today as a retaliation. But regardless, we have leads. We are operating on those leads, and my hope is that shortly we're going to be able to bring the perpetrators of these crimes to justice. The chief will be able to give a bit of additional information, but every available resource is right now out in the field. We are working with a number of different jurisdictions to assist as well. This is unacceptable, and we will not tolerate it in this city. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to begin by recapping the investigation that began last night, while noting that we are about 14 and a half hours into it. There is a whole lot of evidence that's been retrieved, numerous leads that are being pursued. However, I am limited in the information that we can disclose. So, to recap last night, 3rd Precinct police officers responded to 3 ShotSpotter activations and multiple 911 calls within the area of the 1500 block of East 25th Street near Bloomington Avenue. Near the alleyway, officers located 3 men and 2 women, all of them suffering from gunshot wounds. 2 men and 2 women were inside of the vehicle at that location. Officers provided immediate medical aid and life-saving efforts, including CPR, until fire and EMS personnel arrived to take over. 2 men and 1 woman were pronounced deceased at that scene. The remaining man and woman were transported to Hennepin Healthcare with life-threatening injuries. Their condition remains the same. Preliminary information indicates that this was a targeted shooting, which means that this was not random. The Hennepin County Medical Examiner will release the identities of the deceased along with the official causes and manners of death. Victim 1 is a male, 28 years of age. Victim 2, a woman, 20 years of age. Victim 3, a woman, 20 years of age. Victim 4, a juvenile male, 17 years of age. Victim 5, a male, 27 years of age. And it is the 20-year-old woman, 17-year-old male, and the 27-year-old male that are deceased from that scene. We are working with urgency to address that shooting that occurred last night. I've been in contact with the U.S. Attorney's Office, as well as the FBI and the U.S. Marshals Service, and they are assisting in that investigation. Since that incident, our investigators have been working diligently, and evidence is actively being reviewed and analyzed. We are following very promising leads, and we remain focused on identifying all those who were responsible. This morning, we have met with community leaders and residents to listen to their concerns and address immediate needs. Additional meetings were scheduled for this afternoon. We are working in partnership with the Metropolitan Urban Indian Directors Association, a coalition of American Indian community leaders. Their collaboration has been instrumental in guiding our community response. In response to this tragedy, we have directed additional resources to increase police presence in the area, aimed at restoring a sense of safety and addressing any emergent public safety issues. Violent incidents of this magnitude leave a deep impact, not only on the American Indian community, but on our officers, our investigators, and our community as a whole. Indeed, there are many questions. We are still in the early stages of both of these investigations. We ask for the public's patience as our investigators follow the evidence to their logical conclusion, thoroughly and carefully. We have consistently highlighted the recent declines in homicides in this shooting as a welcome trend. However, we are acknowledging very clearly, as we did last night, that there is obviously much work to be done. This is a harsh and very painful reminder for our community of that fact. Switching to today, shortly after 1 p.m., Minneapolis Police received 911 calls at a shooting on the block behind me. University of Minnesota Police, Transit Police, as well as Hennepin County Sheriff's deputies responded to this scene. They found a male in his 30s and immediately began providing life-saving medical aid. Unfortunately, that male was later pronounced deceased at the scene by EMS. What is even more disturbing than everything else we've already been talking about is that one round from this shooting struck an SUV. It went through the back door of the SUV and passed just beneath the legs of 2 children in child seats, an infant and a toddler. We've been hearing from people in the community that they believe people know what's going on here. And that's why, just like I said last night, we need people from the community to come forward, even anonymously, and help us. We're tracking leads. I am confident in the law enforcement response that's been going on the last several hours. And I'm confident that we're making very, very good progress in both of these cases. But it is an obvious sign of something the community has been saying that we know all too well, that oftentimes conflicts are being resolved in this manner. And it's completely foolish, and we cannot allow it to stand. Again, that being said, I'll open it up to some questions, but again, I'm limited on the information that we can provide. We are 3 blocks away from where there was a shooting last night. The community has been telling us they believe something is going on here. Obviously, we're going to allow the evidence to take us where it is, but of course, we believe that's a strong possibility. We're working with, as I mentioned, FBI, the U.S. Attorney, Hennepin County Sheriff, the Transit Police, the University of Minnesota Police who are here. We're working on increasing visible police presence immediately in the areas here that are affected, as well as getting additional assistance in the investigation, technical assistance, as well as additional resources to bring everybody involved into custody. Yes. Well, I can tell you, obviously what we're seeing right now, as the community is saying, we believe something is going on here. And so oftentimes what is the case in the community violence that we see, particularly when we think there may be a connection or in some way associated with gang activity, that conflicts tend to be resolved in this manner. And we've just seen an outrageous amount of violence here just in the last 13 hours. And so while, every incident is tragic, this speaks to the urgency that we need to act to do what we need to do every step of the way to take people into custody as soon as possible. But we also need the public's help. With the public's help, it'll be faster. I cannot.
Was there one?
As I said, we are certainly not ruling out that this is related in some way. We're 3 blocks away. Community saying something's going on here. We have to follow the evidence. I cannot speculate. You can make your own assumptions based off the facts. I believe to the information that I have, that I know of, all of the victims that I know of, we believe are Native. Yes. Yes.
This is one person shot today?
Yes, one person shot.
And last night it was just 3, there wasn't a 4th?
No, there are 3 deceased. I gave that in the beginning. There is a male that has been in grave condition since he got to the hospital last night, and there's an additional female with life-threatening injuries in the hospital. Yes. One toddler and 1 infant.
And it looks like this happened just outside of this apartment building here.
Yes.
Touch on the residents,
The residents are obviously terrified. I know there's at least one person that was in need of medical aid while I was here shortly after the call came in, and they're very, very deeply affected and traumatized. And so for sure, we're trying to do everything that we can for all of the families and everyone in the community to restore some sense of safety for them as fast as possible.
Chief, in terms of resource deployment, are you pulling resources from other precincts in the city right now to...
We have pulled resources citywide. We are getting help from the Hennepin County Sheriff, from the FBI, the U.S. Marshals. We are asking for additional help from the Sheriff's Office for patrols in general in this area. And I know we even have some help from the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office involving the investigation. It's I'm not able to speak on that at this time. I don't have information to confirm that, but there was, I believe there was a weapon found on the scene. The person found here today was on the street, yes.
Chief, so like how do you put in perspective, the city just went through this record long period without, homicide in the city, just like in terms of viewing it as frustration after this long period, or, still pleased with the work that's been done? How do you feel about this having happened?
Well, it shows that progress is fragile. And though, I'm confident that we have very good partnerships and sound strategies, that alone is not enough. And so, again, as I was making an appeal for community help, we need everyone to stand up and say this is not okay. We need to continue what we're doing and move forward. And law enforcement will not rest until everyone involved in both of these incidents is brought into custody. And then we're going to need the rest of the system to do its job to make sure they stay in custody. Again, it's frustrating. Every single incident, one victim in and of itself, even if they survive, it's very traumatizing to the family, to the block that they live on, the people who love them, as well as the community at large. And it's just exponentially worse in these cases. I was supposed to be in a meeting right now with community leaders. That got delayed, obviously, because of this. We've met with folks this morning, as well as the precinct inspector, and we're going to continue engaging with community, do everything that we can to help increase their sense of safety. But just, again, the message remains the same, and it's very urgent. Anyone who's able to come forward or to encourage someone else to come forward and provide information, even anonymously, is helpful. But we are on it. Let the Native American community know we are on it. All of law enforcement is on it. This is outrageous. It's absolutely senseless. And it just shows how completely reckless this is. That this is broad daylight out here with a toddler and an infant in a car seat. nearly getting hit by a bullet. It's outrageous. Enough.
Chief, Mayor?
The message to our Native community is that we stand with them. We're going to do everything possible to bring these perpetrators to justice. And to be clear, our city, our police, our entire enterprise will not rest until we get the job done, and we're going to do it hand in hand with them.
I don't have anything confirmed. I'm dealing with this. I know I heard the radio transmission myself. I don't know if anything is confirmed there yet, but we will be on that as well.
Chief, Mayor?
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. And to all the partners standing here, thank you for your flexibility and patience today. It meant a lot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And one of the reasons we switched you is we have a homicide pent up that we didn't want in the scene. And so I just wanted to make sure we had try to get that away from you.
Is there no word on whether the gun was blood or anything?
Again, we don't have that.
Nobody else was.
That is true.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry and Police Chief Brian O'Hara talking about not one but two crime scenes, two shootings. The police chief saying there's been an outrageous amount of violence in the last 13 hours. There was a lot of information given there, so let me wrap things up for you to help it all make sense. This started last evening with a shooting in the Midtown neighborhood there. And 5 people were shot, Midtown Phillips neighborhood, excuse me. 5 people were shot in this scene here. 3 people died. We're told a 20-year-old woman, a 17-year-old male, and a 27-year-old male deceased. A 20-year-old woman and a 28-year-old man are still in the hospital, and their conditions, according to the chief, life-threatening, as he mentioned it. What we did learn here is that all of these people involved were part of the Native American community, and they said that they are going to be working with Native American community leaders to help with this situation. That leads us into today. Today's shooting happened just after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can see it on your map right there. And this is also just a few blocks away, I believe 3 blocks away is what the chief said, from the shooting from last night. And while he wouldn't go so far as to say that these 2 shootings are related, he did say that people in the neighborhood are telling him that they probably are related, and they said they have to work with the evidence, though. Last night's shooting, he did say, was targeted and gang-related, and he did say oftentimes when things are gang-related, this is how people retaliate, this is what happens. He told us to make our own judgment based on the facts. At this particular scene today, and this is a live shot from Sky 11, happened right in front of this building here where the Native American, the Red Lake Nation Embassy is, and we were told that a man in his 30s died at the scene. And one of the shocking things that the chief mentioned here is that during this shooting, a bullet hit an SUV, which is awful enough, but apparently there was an infant and a toddler both in car seats in the back of that SUV, and the bullet missed them, thankfully, but he was very shocked about that and very concerned about that. Broad daylight, he said, enough is enough. So again, we are talking about 2 shootings, potentially related, one last night where 3 people died, and one today where a man in his 30s died, all of them connected to the Native American community. We are told that by the mayor, as well as by the police chief, that all resources are being used to help bring these people to justice. They are asking anyone in the community, if you know something, to please say something, because that is the way that they will end up bringing someone into custody. But again, right now there is no one in custody for either of these shootings. So he did tell us, the chief, that they not only had resources from all across the city, but the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department was helping, as was the Ramsey County Sheriff. They were helping. The U of M was there today. Transit Police were there today. So a lot of people involved in trying to solve these 2 crimes and figure out exactly how they are connected. We